Welcome, brave readers, to the ultimate survival guide for facing one of the most terrifying creepypasta legends, Eyeless Jack. If you've ever felt the icy grip of fear just thinking about a faceless figure stealing your kidneys in the dead of night, then this guide is for you. Eyeless Jack is the stuff of nightmares. But with the right preparation, a bit of humor, and some practical advice, you can turn the tables on this sinister specter. For the uninitiated, Eyeless Jack is a mysterious and malevolent creature from the dark corners of the internet, known for his unsettling habit of sneaking into homes and removing the kidneys of his victims while they sleep. The mere thought of encountering this eyeless monstrosity is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. But fear not. We're here to arm you with 10 essential tips that will help you keep your kidneys right where they belong, inside your body. In this guide, we'll take you through a series of practical and hilarious tips to ensure you're always one step ahead of Eyeless Jack. From locking your windows and doors to using bright lights and learning self-defense, we've got every angle covered. You'll learn how to transform your home into an impenetrable fortress, utilize modern technology to your advantage, and even leverage the power of a good security system to keep Jack at bay. But it's not just about physical defenses. We'll also delve into the importance of understanding your enemy, the value of staying away from abandoned buildings, and why you should never sleep alone. Each chapter is packed with humorous anecdotes and practical advice to help you stay safe and keep your spirits high, even when faced with the creepiest of creepypasta legends. So, buckle up and get ready for a wild ride through the world of Eyeless Jack's survival. Whether you're a seasoned horror fan or just someone who wants to sleep soundly at night, this guide will provide you with the tools you need to outsmart, outrun, and outwit one of the internet's most notorious monsters. Because when it comes to Eyeless Jack, knowledge is power, and a good laugh doesn't hurt either. Let's dive in and start taking the fear out of the legend, one tip at a time. Welcome to the ultimate guide to surviving Eyeless Jack. Tip 1. Lock your windows and doors. Let's kick things off with the first tip to survive Eyeless Jack. Lock your windows and doors. Seriously, this can't be stressed enough. Eyeless Jack loves sneaking into homes under the cover of darkness, and an unlocked window or door is basically rolling out the red carpet for him. So, unless you want to wake up missing a kidney, it's time to get serious about home security. Imagine that you're lying in bed, drifting off to sleep, when you hear a creak. Your heart starts pounding because you know you forgot to lock the window in the living room. You imagine Eyeless Jack slipping in, quiet as a shadow, and making his way towards you. Congratulations, you've just given yourself a first-class ticket to Nightmare Town. Don't be that person. Lock your damn windows and doors. First things first, do a nightly sweep of your house. Make it a ritual. Check every window and door, ensuring they're locked and secure. This might seem tedious, but it's a small price to pay for peace of mind. And if you're the forgetful type, consider setting reminders on your phone. A little ding at 10 p.m. to lock up can save you from a very unwelcome midnight visit. For those of you who love gadgets, smart locks and window sensors are your new best friends. Install them and control your home's security from your smartphone. You can check if everything's locked without leaving the comfort of your bed. Plus, if Eyeless Jack tries to jimmy open a window, you'll get an instant alert. Nothing says, "Back off, Jack," like a high-tech security system. Let's not forget about the importance of sturdy locks. That flimsy latch on your back door isn't going to cut it against a determined eyeless freak. Invest in deadbolts and reinforced windows. If you're really committed, consider installing bars on your windows. Sure, it might make your house look like Fort Knox, but better that than a free buffet for Eyeless Jack. Make your locks and windows noisy. Attach little bells or alarms that jingle or buzz when they're opened. It's a simple but effective way to add an extra layer of security. If Eyeless Jack tries to sneak in, he'll trigger a chorus of noise that'll alert you and probably scare him off. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you outsmarted him with a couple of bucks worth of dollar store bells. Locking your windows and doors is the first line of defense against Eyeless Jack. Make it a habit. Use technology to your advantage, and don't skimp on quality locks. With these measures in place, you'll sleep soundly knowing your home is secure. Remember, a locked door is a happy door, and a happy door keeps the kidney-stealing creeps at bay. Stay safe and lock up. Tip 2. Sleep with one eye open. Alright, time for tip number 2. Sleep with one eye open. Now, I know it sounds ironic, keeping an eye out for an eyeless monster, but trust me, staying vigilant can make all the difference when it comes to surviving Eyeless Jack. This isn't your average bedtime routine. It's a high-stakes game of don't get caught napping. Imagine this. You're cozy in bed, snug as a bug, when you hear a soft rustling noise. Your eyes snap open, and you scan the room, half expecting to see Eyeless Jack looming over you. It's just a false alarm, but your adrenaline is pumping. This is the kind of paranoia we're aiming for. Not so much that you can't function, but just enough to keep you on your toes. Sleep with one eye open, and you'll be ready for anything. First, let's address the practicalities. Sleeping with one eye literally open isn't going to happen unless you're part owl. The goal here is to stay semi-alert, even when you're resting. Start by keeping your bedroom well lit. A nightlight or dim lamp can cast away shadows and make it harder for Eyeless Jack to creep in unnoticed. Plus, it's less eerie when you wake up suddenly and can actually see your surroundings. Next, consider setting up some noisemakers. I'm talking about white noise machines, fans, or even a radio playing soft music. These can mask minor noises that would otherwise keep you awake. But more importantly, they'll help you differentiate between normal house sounds and something more sinister. If you hear a floorboard creak over your white noise machine, it's probably not the house settling. It's time to grab that flashlight and check it out. Let's get real about the buddy system. If you can, avoid sleeping alone. Whether it's a human partner, a trusty dog, or even an oversized stuffed animal for moral support, having someone or something by your side can make a huge difference. You're less likely to be caught off guard if there's another set of eyes and ears, or a comforting presence, nearby. Plus, in a pinch, you can always use them as a human shield. Kidding, mostly. Here's a fun tip. Strategically place mirrors around your room. Eyeless Jack might be sneaky, but he can't sneak up on you if you can see him coming from all angles. Place a mirror opposite your bed and another near your door. This way, even the slightest movement will catch your attention, and you'll have an early warning system in place. It's like setting up a security camera network, but with way more style. And finally, embrace the power of caffeine. If you're really committed to staying vigilant, a late-night cup of coffee or a caffeinated snack can help keep you alert during those crucial hours. Just don't overdo it. You don't want to end up jittery and paranoid. The goal is to strike a balance between staying awake and getting enough rest to function the next day. Sleeping with one eye open is all about maintaining a level of alertness without sacrificing your sanity. Keep your room well lit, use noisemakers, and consider the buddy system. Mirrors can be your best friend, and a little caffeine can go a long way. By staying semi-vigilant, you'll be ready to spot Eyeless Jack before he spots you. Happy semi-sleeping, and may your nights be Jack-free. Tip 3. Avoid sleeping alone. Alright, let's move on to tip number 3. Avoid sleeping alone. When it comes to Eyeless Jack, having a buddy can be a game changer. Whether it's a human partner, a trusty pet, or even a ridiculously oversized stuffed animal, the key is to make sure you're never alone at night. Because let's face it, Eyeless Jack is less likely to mess with you if there's someone else around to back you up. Or at the very least, scream with you. It's the dead of night, and you're trying to get some shut-eye. Every creak and groan of the house has you on edge. But tonight, you're not alone. Your best friend has agreed to crash on your floor, bless their brave soul. And together, you've set up a fortress of pillows and blankets. You both know that if Eyeless Jack shows up, you've got each other's backs. It's like a sleepover, but with higher stakes and way more adrenaline. First things first, recruit a sleep buddy. This could be a roommate, a friend, or even a family member. Explain the situation, preferably without sounding like a total lunatic, and emphasize the importance of not sleeping alone. If they're reluctant, sweeten the deal with promises of snacks, movies, or even a bribe, whatever it takes to get them on board. Because let's be real, a shared terror is a mitigated terror. If human companionship isn't an option, consider getting a pet. Dogs are particularly great for this purpose. They're loyal, they've got excellent hearing, and they'll alert you to any unusual activity. Plus, there's something incredibly comforting about having a furry friend snuggled up next to you when you're trying to fend off an eyeless nightmare. Even a cat, with its uncanny ability to sense supernatural weirdness, can be a surprisingly effective deterrent. Now, If you're truly out of options, go for the next best thing. A stuffed animal. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous. But hear me out. There's a reason kids find comfort in their plush companions. Choose the biggest, most intimidating stuffed animal you can find. One that says, "Back off, Jack." Place it strategically on your bed or by your side. It might not have the same alertness as a pet or a friend, but it's better than nothing. Plus, if Eyeless Jack has a sense of humor, he might just be thrown off by your choice of defender. For the tech-savvy among you, consider investing in a virtual buddy. Devices like Amazon Echo or Google Home can serve as a modern-day companion. Program them to play soothing sounds or even random alerts to keep the atmosphere lively. It's not quite the same as having a person or pet with you, but it adds an extra layer of presence in the room, making you feel less alone. Avoiding sleeping alone is a crucial strategy in the fight against Eyeless Jack. Whether you recruit a friend, adopt a pet, or rely on a trusty stuffed animal, having a companion can make all the difference. Remember, there's strength in numbers, even if those numbers include a plush bear named Mr. Fluffykins. So, grab your buddy, hunker down, and sleep a little easier knowing you're not facing the night alone. Sweet dreams, and may your sleepovers be Jack-free. Tip 4. Invest in a good security system. Let's move on to tip number 4. Invest in a good security system. When dealing with an eyeless monster who loves sneaking into homes, a robust security system can be your best line of defense. Think of it as turning your house into Fort Knox, minus the gold, but with all the high-tech bells and whistles to keep Eyeless Jack at bay. You're lounging on your couch, finally feeling relaxed, because you've got a top-of-the-line security system in place. You get a notification on your phone. A motion sensor has detected movement outside your front door. You check the live feed and see nothing but the wind rustling the bushes. It's a false alarm, but you breathe easy knowing that if Eyeless Jack does show up, your security system will alert you instantly. Let's talk about what makes a good security system. You'll want something comprehensive: door and window sensors, motion detectors, and surveillance cameras. The goal is to create multiple layers of security that Jack would have to bypass, each one giving you a heads up that something's not right. It's like building an onion of safety. Peel back one layer, and there's another waiting underneath. Surveillance cameras are a must. Place them at all key entry points, doors, windows, and any other potential access points. Make sure they have night vision capabilities, because let's face it, Jack isn't going to come knocking during the daytime. High-resolution cameras with cloud storage are ideal, so you can review footage anytime and ensure nothing slips through the cracks. Next, install motion detectors around your property. These are particularly useful for covering areas that cameras might miss. Set them to trigger alerts on your smartphone, so you're instantly notified if there's any unusual activity. Imagine getting a notification in the middle of the night and checking your phone to see Eyeless Jack creeping around. It's scary as hell, but at least you're not caught off guard. Let's not forget about door and window sensors. These little gadgets are essential for detecting any unauthorized entry. If Eyeless Jack tries to jimmy open a window or door, the sensor will trigger an alarm, alerting you and likely scaring him off. For added security, connect these sensors to a loud alarm system. Nothing says, "Get lost," like a blaring siren waking up the entire neighborhood. For those who love tech, smart locks and video doorbells are fantastic additions. Smart locks allow you to control your doors remotely, so you can double-check that everything is locked up tight, even if you're already in bed. Video doorbells give you a live feed of anyone who approaches your front door, so you can see Jack coming before he even sets foot inside. Finally, make sure your security system is easy to use. The last thing you want in a moment of panic is to fumble with complicated controls. Choose a system with a user-friendly app that lets you monitor everything from your phone. Set up custom alerts, automate certain actions, and make sure everything is integrated seamlessly. The easier it is to use, the more likely you are to stay on top of things. Investing in a good security system is a crucial step in protecting yourself from Eyeless Jack. From surveillance cameras and motion detectors to smart locks and video doorbells, the right tech can turn your home into an impenetrable fortress. So gear up, install those sensors, and sleep soundly knowing your security system has your back. Because when it comes to dealing with eyeless creeps, a little tech goes a long way. Tip 5. Stay away from abandoned buildings. Alright, let's dive into tip number 5. Stay away from abandoned buildings. If you've ever seen a horror movie or read a creepypasta, you know that nothing good ever happens in abandoned buildings. They're practically the summer homes for monsters like Eyeless Jack. So, unless you're a thrill seeker with a death wish, keep your distance from these creepy, deserted places. Picture this. You and your friends are on a road trip, and you come across an old, decrepit building. Someone suggests exploring it because, hey, what could go wrong? You get closer, and the air seems to get colder, the shadows darker. Every step you take echoes eerily, and suddenly you see it. A figure lurking in the shadows, eyeless sockets staring right at you. Congratulations, you've just walked into Eyeless Jack's lair. Don't be that person. Let's get real about why abandoned buildings are a no-go. They're dark, isolated, and filled with all sorts of hiding spots for a creature like Eyeless Jack. There's a reason these places are deserted. Nobody wants to be there, and neither should you. If you get the urge to explore, remember that there's a fine line between being adventurous and being a horror story statistic. If you're the curious type who just can't resist, consider exploring from a safe distance, like, say, the comfort of your car. Drive by, take a quick look, and move on. There's no need to channel your inner Scooby-Doo gang and investigate every spooky location you come across. Leave the mystery solving to the professionals, or, better yet, the fictional characters who get paid to do it. Let's talk about the practical steps to avoid these places. First, plan your routes and outings carefully. Stick to well-lit, populated areas, and avoid shortcuts through deserted streets or alleys. If you're in an unfamiliar place, use GPS to find safe, well-traveled paths. There's no shame in avoiding the scenic route if it means steering clear of potential danger. If you're out with friends, make a pact to avoid abandoned buildings. Peer pressure can be a powerful thing, but so can common sense. Agree on safer, more fun activities that don't involve risking your kidneys to an eyeless creep. There are plenty of thrilling adventures that don't end in a horror show. Ziplining, anyone? And if you're the type who loves urban exploration, at least take some precautions. Go during the day, bring a group of friends, and make sure someone knows where you are. Equip yourself with flashlights, and for the love of all that is holy, don't split up. Stick together like glue, and keep an eye out for anything unusual. Remember, curiosity killed the cat, and it's not looking too good for the overly curious human either. Staying away from abandoned buildings is a key strategy in avoiding Eyeless Jack. These places are breeding grounds for trouble and the perfect hunting grounds for our eyeless friend. So, resist the urge to explore, stick to safe areas, and plan your adventures wisely. Your kidneys will thank you, and you'll live to tell tales of your daring, albeit safer, exploits. Stay smart, stay safe, and keep those abandoned buildings in your rearview mirror. Tip 6. Keep your medical records safe. Alright, let's move on to tip number 6. Keep your medical records safe. When dealing with Eyeless Jack, it's not just your peace of mind at risk. It's your kidneys too. This guy has a weird fascination with internal organs, so it's crucial to keep your medical history and health information under lock and key. You don't want to give Jack any ideas about what's worth taking. You've just returned home after a routine checkup at the doctor's office. You toss your medical records on the kitchen table and think nothing of it. That night, you hear a faint rustling in your house. You dismiss it as the wind or your pet cat. The next morning, you wake up feeling groggy and your medical records are gone. Oh, and you're missing a kidney. Coincidence? I think not. Eyeless Jack strikes again, and you've just made it way too easy for him. First things first, don't leave your medical records lying around. These documents contain valuable information about your health, and you don't want them falling into the wrong hands, or eyeless sockets. Store them in a secure, locked drawer or safe. The more secure, the better. A simple file cabinet might work for day-to-day use, but a small safe adds an extra layer of protection. If you're tech-savvy, consider digitizing your medical records and storing them in a secure, encrypted cloud service. This way you can access them when needed, but they're not easily accessible to anyone snooping around your house. Just make sure your digital storage is as secure as Fort Knox. Passwords, two-factor authentication, the whole 9 yards. You don't want Eyeless Jack hacking into your files. Let's talk about your healthcare provider's security too. Make sure your doctor's office or hospital takes patient confidentiality seriously. Ask about their data protection measures and how they handle your records. You're not being paranoid. You're being proactive. After all, you're not just protecting yourself from run-of-the-mill identity theft. You're guarding against an organ-harvesting creep. Now, here's a fun tip. Add a decoy. Keep a set of fake medical records filled with outrageous and humorous health issues. Imagine Eyeless Jack's confusion when he reads that you have a rare condition that makes your organs unfit for consumption, or that your kidneys have been replaced with titanium implants. It might not stop him, but it'll certainly give him pause and a good laugh. For added security, consider using a personal health record, PHR app. These apps let you store and manage your health information securely on your phone or computer. Look for one with robust security features and make sure it's HIPAA compliant. This way, you can keep track of your medical history without keeping physical records lying around. In conclusion, keeping your medical records safe is a vital step in protecting yourself from Eyeless Jack. By securing your documents, digitizing when possible, and ensuring your healthcare providers are diligent with your information, you can stay one step ahead. Throw in a decoy for good measure, and you're well on your way to outsmarting the eyeless menace. So lock up those records, stay vigilant, and keep your organs where they belong, inside your body. Tip 7. Use bright lights. Let's move on to tip number 7. Use bright lights. Eyeless Jack might be an expert at lurking in the shadows, but there's one thing he can't stand: bright lights. Flooding your space with light can be one of the simplest and most effective ways to keep him at bay. So, it's time to turn your home into a lighthouse and banish those dark corners where Jack likes to hide. Imagine this. You're curled up on your couch, watching a movie, when the power goes out. Suddenly, every shadow seems menacing and you swear you hear something moving in the darkness. But wait! You've prepared for this. You grab your flashlight, flip on your battery-powered lanterns, and your house is instantly bathed in light. Eyeless Jack doesn't stand a chance in this glowing fortress. First things first, make sure every room in your house is well lit. Replace those dim, flickering bulbs with high-wattage bright LEDs. Not only do they last longer, but they also provide a clear, crisp light that leaves no shadow unilluminated. Place lamps strategically around your home, especially near windows and doors where Jack might try to sneak in. The goal is to create an environment where darkness simply doesn't exist. Next, consider installing motion-activated lights. These are particularly useful for outdoor areas like your yard, porch, and garage. If Eyeless Jack tries to creep around outside, the sudden flood of light will startle him and alert you to his presence. Plus, it's a great way to freak out any other unwanted visitors who think they can roam around unnoticed. Imagine Jack's surprise when he's suddenly lit up like a Christmas tree. Let's talk about night lights. Sure, they're typically for kids who are afraid of the dark, but let's be real. We're all afraid of the dark when it comes to eyeless, kidney-stealing creeps. Place night lights in hallways, bathrooms, and any other areas where you might need to navigate at night. They provide just enough illumination to keep the shadows at bay without being too harsh on your eyes. And don't forget about portable lighting. Flashlights, lanterns, and even glow sticks can be lifesavers during a power outage or when you need to investigate a creepy noise. Keep a flashlight in every room and make sure they're all in working order. There's nothing worse than grabbing a flashlight in a moment of panic, only to find out the batteries are dead. Pro tip: invest in rechargeable flashlights so you're never caught off guard. For the ultimate in lighting defense, consider smart bulbs. These nifty gadgets can be controlled via your smartphone, allowing you to adjust the brightness, set schedules, and even change the color of your lights. Imagine lying in bed, hearing a noise, and instantly turning on all the lights in your house with a simple voice command. It's like having your own personal anti-Jack defense system. In conclusion, using bright lights is a key strategy in keeping Eyeless Jack at bay. By illuminating your home, installing motion-activated lights, and ensuring you have portable lighting on hand, you can turn the tables on this shadow-dwelling menace. So light up your life, banish the darkness, and sleep soundly knowing that Eyeless Jack has nowhere to hide. Shine on, and may your home be forever bright and Jack-free. Tip 8. Learn some self-defense. Alright, Let's dive into tip number 8. Learn some self-defense. When dealing with Eyeless Jack, you can't always rely on bright lights and locked doors. Sometimes, you need to be ready to defend yourself physically. No, I'm not suggesting you go toe-to-toe with a supernatural entity. But having some basic self-defense skills can give you the confidence to face whatever comes your way, even if that something is an eyeless, kidney-stealing creep. You're in the kitchen late at night grabbing a snack when you hear a noise behind you. You turn around and see a shadowy figure moving toward you. Instead of freezing in terror, you remember your self-defense training. You grab a frying pan, ready to swing, and shout, "Come at me, Jack!" You've turned the tables and taken control of the situation. Whether Eyeless Jack is real or just your imagination, you're prepared. Consider taking a self-defense class. Many community centers and gyms offer courses that teach basic techniques to fend off an attacker. These classes can be empowering and provide practical skills you can use in everyday situations. Plus, they're a great workout. Just imagine telling your friends you learned to roundhouse kick because you were worried about Eyeless Jack. Instant badass points. Familiarize yourself with common household items that can double as weapons. A rolling pin, a broom, or even a can of hairspray can be effective tools in a pinch. The key is to use whatever is at hand and turn it into a weapon. Keep these items within easy reach, especially in areas where you might feel vulnerable, like the kitchen, bathroom, or bedroom. For those of you who prefer something a bit more official, consider investing in some self-defense tools. Pepper spray is a popular choice and can be easily carried in your pocket or purse. A personal alarm can also be effective, emitting a loud noise that can startle an attacker and alert others to your situation. And if you're really serious, a stun gun or taser can provide an extra level of protection. Just make sure you know how to use these tools properly and legally. Let's not forget about the power of your own body. Learning a few basic moves can make all the difference. Practice simple techniques like how to break free from a grab, how to strike vulnerable areas, and how to use your weight to your advantage. The goal is not to become a martial arts master overnight, but to feel confident that you can protect yourself if needed. And here's a fun tip. Combine self-defense with fitness. Kickboxing classes, martial arts, or even yoga can improve your strength, flexibility, and reflexes. All important skills when facing down an eyeless nightmare. Plus, you'll look and feel great, which is always a bonus. Just think of it as preparing for the ultimate showdown with Eyeless Jack, where you come out looking like a hero. Learning some self-defense is a crucial part of surviving Eyeless Jack. By taking classes, familiarizing yourself with household items as weapons, and investing in self-defense tools, you can feel more secure and prepared. Combine these skills with regular fitness routines, and you'll be ready to face any threat, supernatural or otherwise. So gear up, train hard, and remember, the best defense is a good offense. Stay safe and kick some eyeless butt. Tip 9. Know your enemy. Alright folks, it's time for tip number 9. Know your enemy. When it comes to surviving an encounter with Eyeless Jack, knowledge is your best weapon. Understanding Jack's habits, weaknesses, and motivations can give you the upper hand in outsmarting him. So, grab your detective hat and magnifying glass because we're about to dive into some serious monster research. You're sitting at your desk, late at night, poring over old internet forums and creepypasta archives. Your room is lit by the glow of your computer screen as you delve into the dark history of Eyeless Jack. The more you learn, the better prepared you feel. You start to see patterns, understand his methods, and anticipate his moves. Knowledge truly is power, especially when facing a faceless fiend. First, let's get to know Eyeless Jack. According to the legends, Jack is a humanoid creature with a dark hoodie and a featureless, eyeless face. He's known for sneaking into homes at night and removing the kidneys of his victims while they sleep. Creepy, right? But understanding these details can help you take preventative measures. For instance, knowing that he prefers the cover of darkness, you can ensure your home is always well lit. Next, dive into his origins. Eyeless Jack's story began on the internet as a creepypasta, a genre of horror-themed legends shared online. These stories often include detailed descriptions of his behavior and encounters with him. By reading these accounts, you can identify common themes and tactics that survivors have used. Some stories suggest that Jack is repelled by certain symbols or objects. While these might be fictional, it doesn't hurt to be cautious and incorporate them into your defense strategy. Now, let's talk about patterns. Eyeless Jack has a modus operandi. He targets people who are alone and asleep, and he's particularly active at night. By recognizing these patterns, you can disrupt his routine. Make it a point to never sleep alone, as covered in Tip 3, and take turns staying awake with a friend or family member. If Jack relies on catching his victims off guard, being prepared and alert will throw him off his game. For those who love research, consider creating a Jack journal. Document any sightings, strange occurrences, or encounters you or others have had. Keep track of dates, times, and locations to see if you can identify any specific triggers or hotspots. Sharing this information with a trusted community can also help others stay safe. Plus, it adds a bit of fun to the whole trying to avoid a kidney-stealing monster thing. Use this knowledge to inform your overall strategy. Knowing that Eyeless Jack targets specific organs, you can take extra precautions to protect yourself. Sleep in a way that makes it difficult for him to access you, such as using body pillows or special sleeping positions. Consider using symbolic protection, like drawing protective symbols near your bed or wearing amulets. Whether or not these are scientifically proven, they can provide psychological comfort and a sense of control. Knowing your enemy is a vital part of surviving Eyeless Jack. By understanding his origins, habits, and weaknesses, you can develop effective strategies to keep him at bay. Stay informed, stay alert, and use your knowledge to turn the tables on this creepypasta menace. After all, the more you know, the safer you'll be. Happy researching, and may your nights be Jack-free. Tip 10. Use surveillance cameras. Alright, let's switch it up for tip number 10. Use surveillance cameras. If you want to keep an eyeless horror like Eyeless Jack at bay, you need to keep an eye, pun intended, on your surroundings at all times. Surveillance cameras can be your best friend in this creepypasta nightmare. Picture this. You're sitting in your living room, watching a movie, when your phone buzzes with a notification from your security app. You open it to see a live feed of Eyeless Jack lurking outside your window. Instead of panicking, you calmly call the authorities and watch as they arrive to take care of the situation. All thanks to your handy surveillance system. First things first, install cameras at all key entry points, doors, windows, and any other possible ways Jack could sneak in. Make sure they're high-resolution cameras with night vision capabilities, because you know he's not going to come knocking during daylight hours. The clearer the footage, the better prepared you'll be. Next, set up motion detectors to alert you of any movement around your house. These can be connected to your smartphone so you'll get real-time updates. Imagine getting a notification at 3 a.m., glancing at your phone, and seeing Eyeless Jack trying to jimmy your lock. It's creepy as hell, but at least you're not caught off guard. For those of you who love over-the-top solutions, consider adding some loud alarms. If Jack triggers any of your cameras or motion detectors, let the whole neighborhood know. A blaring siren is bound to send even the most determined eyeless entity running for the hills. Plus, it'll give you the satisfaction of knowing you scared the shit out of him for a change. And let's not forget about having backup footage. Store your camera feeds in the cloud so you can review them anytime. If Jack does manage to slip past your defenses, you'll have the evidence to show the authorities, or to prove to your skeptical friends that Eyeless Jack is real and not just an urban legend. Use your surveillance system to your advantage by setting up traps. Once you know Jack's preferred entry points and patterns, you can leave out decoys or deterrents to throw him off. Maybe sprinkle some salt around your doors and windows, or leave out some strategically placed mirrors, because who knows? Maybe the lack of eyes gives him a complex. Using surveillance cameras is a high-tech, effective way to keep Eyeless Jack at bay. With a solid setup, you can monitor your surroundings, stay alert, and have evidence on hand should you need it. So invest in a good surveillance system, keep your phone handy, and rest easy knowing you've got a watchful eye on the lookout. Happy monitoring. Congratulations, fearless reader. You've made it through the ultimate guide to surviving Eyeless Jack. By now, you're armed with 10 essential tips that combine practical advice with a healthy dose of humor to keep you one step ahead of this kidney-stealing creep. Whether it's locking your windows, investing in a good security system, or staying away from abandoned buildings, you're ready to face Eyeless Jack with confidence and a grin. Let's recap the essentials. You've learned the importance of securing your home, sleeping with one eye open, and never going solo. You know how to use bright lights to your advantage, and how to arm yourself with self-defense skills and tools. You've become an expert in understanding your enemy and keeping your medical records safe. And you've embraced the power of technology to keep Eyeless Jack at bay. Remember, the key to surviving Eyeless Jack isn't just about following these tips. It's about maintaining your sense of humor and staying vigilant. Fear might give Jack an edge, but laughter and preparation take it away. You've turned what could be a terrifying ordeal into a manageable, even laughable challenge. And that's the true power of this guide. Now, go forth and share your newfound wisdom. Spread the word to friends, family, and anyone who might benefit from a good laugh and some solid advice on surviving one of the internet's most notorious monsters. The more people who know how to outsmart Eyeless Jack, the safer we'll all be. Plus, it's always more fun to face fears together. So here's to peaceful nights, well-lit homes, and kidneys that stay right where they belong. You've got the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to keep Eyeless Jack at bay. Sleep tight, stay vigilant, and remember, when it comes to Eyeless Jack, you're in control. And before you go, if you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Stay tuned for more spine-chilling yet hilarious survival guides and cryptid stories. Happy surviving, and may your nights be Jack-free.